School.
Miss Cassie Benson. Cassie will receive over $30,000 in scholarship monies every year. Great job, guys.
Okay. The governor, in his May revised, indicated that he would get county funds from Kern County alone anywhere between $29 and $35 million. $20 million coming from the general fund as a quote loan, $5 million from the county fire fund, $4 million from the Williamson Act, $1.5 million from drug enforcement programs, and miscellaneous funds throughout other programs in the county. Our legislative analyst hit it right on the head. He said with the 20% cut that we were faced for July 1st, based on our own lack of revenue from property tax and sales tax, this will add an additional cut, and the first cut was going to be just fingers and toes. Well, now we're cutting off arms and legs. So June 2nd, the CAO will report back to the Board of Supervisors in the afternoon on projected suggestions for cuts and what our future.
He began his musical career as a junior high school trumpet student in Rome, New York. He graduated from Desert High School at Edwards Air Force Base, California, and pursued a music education degree from Southern California College, which is now Vanguard University. After receiving his teaching credential from the same institution, Mr. Ferrandini began working for Newport Mesa Union School District as a 6th grade music specialist. He traveled to 9 different elementary schools at which he taught over 1,000 students each year the basics of playing trumpet, clarinet, violin, and percussion. After 2 years there, his path led him back to the Antelope Valley and to Tropical Middle School. Mr. Ferrandini has served Southern Kern Unified School District for 12 years as the Director of Music at Tropico. The band and choirs at Tropico have grown in numbers, achievement, and reputation under his leadership. Mr. Ferrandini was honored to receive Tropico's Teacher of the Year award for 1997 to 1998 and was also a nominee for Disney's Teacher of the Year. Mr. Ferrandini is loved and respected by his students, and it shows in their motivation for learning and outstanding musical achievement. Now, side note, since I read this, which was prepared for me, now I'll tell you about the real Mr. Ferrandini. I've had the luxury of working with him for 2 years, and there's no doubt in my mind the dedication he has to the students of our school. He gives 100%, and you can tell with the performances by all his music and band and his drum major and the flag team. And it's an honor for me to be able to work with someone like that, just to see his passion for the students and his definite passion for music. That comes through all the time. So I'm actually kind of privileged that I get to read this, knowing that I've only known him for 2 years, and it's an honor to have him receive this award.
Yeah, look this way now.
Okay, ready?
Okay, now look back this way, please.
I want to thank God and my Savior for what He's done for me. I want to recognize that first and foremost. I'm humbled. That's what's been on my mind since someone told me. I'm very humbled that somebody would think to honor me for doing the job that I love to do. I want to thank my family. My wife and children are back there. They go everywhere that we go, and they do everything that we do. And I could not possibly do as good a job if I didn't have such a supportive family. And I want to thank my wife, Judith, Chu, as we call her. She has volunteered for so many years to do our flag team and the things at Tropico that help the band to perform well and to look good and to be what we are. And so I want to thank her for that. And of course my children have grown up in the band room, literally, and now my son is actually a member of the beginning band at Tropico. And that's how I know how many years I've been there, because he's 12. Also my friends and the district, I want to say thank you. I have to say, it has to be real clear, the district has been tremendously supportive of music education in Rosamond. Southern Kern Unified needs to be commended for their commitment to music education, and if you get a chance to tell them that, you should. So I want to thank them. As I mentioned before, I love what I do, and I think that's very important. I wanted to let you guys know something I had said to Willie earlier. it's a good idea for a group like you to recognize teachers in this community. There are many teachers who year in and year out give to the community of Rosamond. And I think it's really great of you to make a decision to include a category like that would recognize teachers. And I want to applaud you for that.
He's kind of like the Thomas Jefferson of Rosamond, you know. He comes here, there's about 1,000 kids in the school district. Next thing you know, he's there for a few years and it's 2,000 and it's 3,000, and he's trying to figure out where to house all these kids using, of course, Arkansas techniques of baling wire and chewing gum. and he finances everything, gets everything built on a wing and a prayer. And we were able to see the community grow and expand, and a lot of people adopt Rosamond as their own in the last 20 years, thanks in large part to Dr. Scherer. Now, Dr. Scherer didn't sit idly by and just watch everything go up around him. Dr. Scherer invested in the community. Many of you may not know that he built the Devonshire Inn because we didn't have a nice inn in Rosamond. He built the first little strip mall over there behind the post office there, where the Shanghai restaurant is. And then he built a really nice set of apartments right behind the Foster Freeze, which he and his wife Kay now manage. Now Dr. Scherer did quit with that once he quote unquote retired from the school district as a superintendent about 10 years ago, probably closer to 15 by now. Then he really retired. He became involved with the Chamber of Commerce and ended up running for and getting elected easily. Got appointed and elected without any opposition to the Community Services District, where he sits here. You notice one of his names there. Looks like he's in front of Mr. Armstrong there, is one of his names. And he's been very involved in the community. He's joined the Rotary Club recently, and he's never not running somewhere here and there. We're glad his health has remained good. I know he's been very, both Kay and Dr. Scherer have been taking care of their health as well as they need to, and that's good. We hope to have them around for a long time. And it was great pleasure and a great honor to be able to honor Dr. Robert Scherer as the Lifetime Achievement Award winner for the Rosamond Municipal Advisory Council.
Great.
Okay. I would like to give credit where credit is really due. I've never expected to get any award because I do this all to the glory of God. I started the first Bible, history of the Bible, in this valley at Rosamond High School. We teach that, and we send out notices and things like this, and I always believe that if you give him the credit, you will get it. So I don't deserve any credit. But I would like to really introduce the one, and she has a PhD, okay? A district manager for Standard Oil, and he would tell Kay, Bob and the posse's coming up, because I would never go up to see her without at least 3 buddies with me in the car. But she has been awarded a PhD, and that's pushing husband through. And she has always been that way. She has always supported me, and without her I wouldn't be standing here. When we started college and things like this, I could rough out a paper and I would give it to her. She was raising our children. We have 4 children. And then she would type it all up, and I would turn it in the next day, and I would get an A. And one time I said, I can do as good as she can. I can type and do all this stuff. And so I did it. I typed it and everything, turned it in. I got a C. That's the last time I did that. But anyway, I would like to thank her publicly, and you all know her. All of those projects we did, wasn't taking time off for being the superintendent. I just can't do one thing at a time. I have to do a lot of things. But she was always the one that really took care of the books and do what everything was happening. So thank you. I love you. 56 years. By the way, she is now a great grandma and 3 times over.
Yeah.
And,